Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the Mental Health Diaries. Today, we're going to talk about all things mental health, as always. But first of all, just a quick few things. The Mental Health Diaries is now live on Spotify. The first three episodes are live on Spotify now. So if you are a subscriber of YouTube, on YouTube, sorry, for the Mental Health Diaries, check us out on Spotify. First three episodes live on there now. Second of all, next month is the 1 year's anniversary of the Mental Health Diaries YouTube channel, which has come around very, very, very fast. And I can't believe that the channel is going to be 1 year old next month. I can't believe that I've been able to create content for a year. It may not be the best edited content. It may not be the best, quality videos all the time. But what it is been honest, raw content about trying to raise awareness around mental health. So yeah, next month the Mental Health Diaries is 1 years old. 1 years old on YouTube. So that's a massive milestone for me, and I'm really proud that I've actually made it 1 year. Um, Putting out videos, and I didn't give up, because there was many times where my mind was telling me that you're not going to succeed, it's going to fail, no one's going to watch, blah blah blah, because that's what the negative thinking styles do to people. But yeah, next month, 1 year anniversary on YouTube, the Mental Health Diaries. And don't forget, if you do like the Mental Health Diaries, check us out on Spotify. If you're out and about, on your way to work, on your way to the gym, check us out on Spotify. Podcasts are now live on there as well. So let's get straight into it. Today, I wanted to talk a bit about my session yesterday with my counsellor, and then move on to a bit more mental health talk. So yesterday was a very emotional session for me yesterday, where I ended up, for so long I've been numb, and I haven't really, I've cried so many tears previously that I haven't cried for a long time because I'm numb to the pain. But yesterday I did, because of the things that we explored, because of the things that we were talking about. And when I was, sort of speaking to my counsellor about my perception on things, it was quite emotional hearing myself speak about myself in such a negative way. I was actually very emotional that um, I hear these things, and that's what I truly believe about myself. It's hard, it's tough. 90% of the time, I want to end my life, and I'm thinking of ways of doing that. There's 10% of me that is still fighting my mental health issues, that is still fighting my PTSD, that is still holding back the depression and anxiety, so it doesn't go that full 100%, and I succeed in taking my life. Um, I've developed resiliency, and this 10% wants to keep going. This 10% wants to keep creating videos. This 10% wants to keep creating content on YouTube and now Spotify. I'm trying new things all the time, because I'm not going to let this 90% destroy this little 10% that I've got left of me, until I've left a mark, until I've actually done something that I'm proud of. My greatest achievement in my life to date is my son, and he will always be my greatest achievement. Um, but me, from my own personal standpoint, the way I feel about myself, um, I don't know if you can imagine what it's like to spend 90% of your day wanting to end your life. It's the toughest battle I've ever had to go through. It's put years on me. I'm only a middle-aged man. I'm 39 years old, and I feel 89. The PTSD is cut slowly, one day at a time, destroying me. But what keeps me hanging on is that 10% that wants to go that extra round, that wants to take more. Because I know that 10% knows that by going that extra round when you don't think you can make all the difference in your life moving forward. So I need to hold on to this 10%, because 90% of the time I cut myself. I want to cut myself, and I want to end my life. But that's because in here, that's all I see is pain. In here, all I see is negativity. All I see is I see myself, hurting myself. And that's what my mind is telling me to do. You should do this, you should do that. And then when I try and go to sleep after a tiring day of wanting to end my life, all I see are flashbacks of traumatic events that have happened in my life. And I remunerate these things over and over and over again. So counselling for me yesterday was very emotional. I cried for the first time in a long time. Um, I, I was emotionally and mentally shattered yesterday. Um, you know, I can't tell you how many times I've said to myself when I'm self-harming, if I just go a little bit deeper, if I just push the blade in a bit further, if I cut the right vein, all this goes away. It just goes away. But the 10% then says, what are you leaving behind? A trail of heartbreak. So it's a constant battle at the moment, and I I got the doctors on Friday as well to discuss some new um, shock treatment for the brain and the eyes to deal with PTSD and how to reprocess and reframe memories. Um, so I'm speaking to the doctor about that on Friday. So let's see what that brings. Let's see what counselling brings moving forward, and let's see if this 10% can grow and push back that 90% even further. Um, because we all have challenges in life. I'm not on my own. There are plenty of people out there suffering just like I am. But I want them to know that they're not on their own. I'm going through the same stuff as well. I'm experiencing everything that you're experiencing. I've done everything to myself that you've done. I know how I know how unwell you are because I'm there too. This is dark. This is evil. And this could be what kills me one day. But I hope it doesn't. I hope I can pull through. I hope I can find and add more percentages to that 10% to make that side stronger and this side just a little bit less stronger, a little bit weaker, one day at a time. So moving on from that, in other news, the government announcing the budget today. Let's hope the funding goes to the sectors that need it. Let's hope the correct part of the NHS gets the correct funding that they need. Let's hope there is a cash injection into the mental health sector to improve the standard of care, because of as recent stories have proved in the media, the mental health sector in the UK is in crisis. The levels of care are shocking. The levels of care are below human standard, and it needs to improve. And I've said this from day one. You need mental health professionals, the psychologists, the doctors, the nurses, but what they need as part of their team is a recovery officer who has had a touching point with mental health, who's been there, done it, and has worn a t-shirt, because human connection is the way forward in treatment with people with mental health issues. They won't be able, sometimes they cannot build a rapport with a doctor, a psychologist, or a nurse, or whoever it may be. But if you put someone in there that's been there and done it and experienced it and is proof that you can get out of it, you're going to get a better reaction to care. You're going to get a better reaction to the treatments that you want them to participate in. You need recovery officers in your care teams to deliver the care that you haven't been delivering over the course of recent years, and that's all factual. Your organisations are shocking. The treatment of mental health patients is shocking, and it needs to change. Um, and if I was the NHS, and if I was working in the mental health sector, and I had a team, a mental health care team, I would have the educated people in there and the medical professionals, but I would also have real people with real stories, with a real journey, and add them into your team, and you will see the benefits massively improve. I promise you. Any mental health hospital in the UK that adds in real people with real stories that can have a human connection with the patient will improve patient care, will improve response to treatment, and will improve the levels of dignity and respect that the mental health patients need and deserve. You need to look at yourselves, look at your teams, look at your budget, and find someone who's been there, who's done it, who has history with mental health conditions, who wants to help. Pay them what they're worth as part of the team, as a recovery officer, 50k a year, and I promise you that 50k a year will massively be well spent, because you will see the levels of care improve. You will see the patients a lot more happier, and you will see a lot more patient engagement because you have a human connection as part of your team, and that's fact. What I forgot to mention quickly is the new logo on the channel banner. I'm going to copyright that design, and that's going to be the logo for the Mental Health Diaries going forward. Hopefully one day I hope to have my own talk show, the Mental Health Diaries, where Mental Health Diaries, it'll be a news show. Hopefully, I want obviously to talk TV or things like that, to have a mental health show dedicated to talking about mental health news, mental health stories, ways we can improve mental health, learning to manage mental health. What can we do to improve mental health? What can we do to improve the standards of mental health care, etc., etc., etc. We have all these talk shows for politics, big news stories, entertainment, Hollywood, sport. You need, and these big TV companies need to show solidarity in changing the mindset and the perception of mental health, end the discrimination about mental health, end the stigmas about mental health, and have a mental health show once a day, afternoon or evening, whenever you can fit it in your schedule, dedicated to talking about mental health, raising awareness, and ending the discrimination with mental illness. The Mental Health Diaries is the show to do that. I have a logo. I have the history of mental health. I have PTSD, anxiety, and depression. I've been there. I've done it. I'm able to talk to people about mental health. I'm an ambassador for Time to Change Wales and Mind Cymru. So in the future, my hope is that the Mental Health Diaries can have a talk show, where it is dedicated to improving the standards of care in the mental health sector, and letting people know that it is as important as any other conversation on the planet. We have talk shows like Piers Morgan Uncensored, Jeremy Kyle's on Talk TV. You've got This Morning, Good Morning Britain, whatever these TV shows are. Not one of them is dedicated to mental health. Why? We need a mental health show. The nation need a mental health show. The nation need a channel or a show that they can watch every day, and be and make mental health an important subject in their weekly schedule. That needs to happen, and the Mental Health Diaries is the show to do that. Moxie FN, hello, my friend. How are you? I hope you're doing well, mate. I'll just reply. Sorry, I did see your message, but I was on a rant, because I see all these TV shows, and I watch all the debates, but not one of the debates about mental health. Not one of the shows that are about mental health. I find it fascinating that no TV show has ever has even picked up on that. Shocking, really. But that's just my crazy idea. Who knows if that will ever come to fruition? But who knows? So yeah. So that is that. Moxie FN says, and yourself, you're talking good stuff, mate. And I'm thinking, why no TV shows are talking about mental health? Absolutely, my friend. I don't get it. I watch Piers Morgan Uncensored every evening, Monday to Friday, and not once has he had um, anyone on there to talk about mental health. Yet you see all these other debates on there. I'm not saying these other debates are important, like gender fluidity, gender pronouns, um, the trans gender debate, all that very relevant. But at least find time in your week, in your weekly shows, in the hour that you're not live on air, to talk about mental health, because it's a massive subject to everyone. Not only me, but there's a massive population, not only in the UK but across the world, that is suffering in silence, and they shouldn't. They should have a show they can switch on, and they can listen to, and they can get involved in. And yeah, Moxie FN, he suffered. Sorry, I didn't mean to assume what gender. Yeah, you suffer with mental health as well, like myself as well. PTSD, anxiety, and depression for me. So I just every TV show that I watch, every time I switch on the TV, we have all these debates, all these news shows. Yet there's not one show that is dedicated to mental health, and I just think that needs to change as well. So hopefully the budget is good news today, for everyone involved with the mental health sector. Hopefully, they listen to the idea of having recovery officers within their mental health care team, someone who can be a part of the team and can speak to them from a human standpoint of how a patient wants to be treated. Um, and yeah, I hope that happens. Moxie FN, they should be talking about mental health more. Your videos help me too so much. So I thank you very much. You're very welcome, my friend. When I started on YouTube, all I ever wanted to do was help other people, regardless of what I was going through. If I could, just change one person's perception on mental health, that was the goal. That was the challenge. That was the challenge for myself, to be able to stick to it. I've wanted to give up. I wanted to give up so many times, but because of amazing people like yourself, who take the time out to watch my videos and comment, that makes me feel like I'm doing something that means that's worthwhile, that is meaning, that has some meaning. And I thank you for watching, and thank you for commenting and engaging in my channel and my content. It means more to me than you'll ever know. We need more people like you in this world. You should definitely replace Piers Morgan. Yeah, I'm as combative. I'm as combative for Piers Morgan. I would have a good argument with Piers Morgan, I think, because, like I said, he said, the advert to Piers Morgan show. If you watch Talk TV, before it starts, it flashes across the screen what they're going to talk about, and then he says, "If you're thinking about it, we're talking about it." It's bollocks, because you haven't talked about mental health once and its importance to people in the UK. So, I would definitely love to replace Piers Morgan on Talk TV and make Piers Morgan Uncensored, the Mental Health Diaries show, where we can talk about mental health and end the discrimination and stigmas faced by people with mental health. I'm happy to pop in. I have to go to work now. Thank you, my friend, and have a good live stream. Have a great day, mate. Enjoy your shift, whatever you're doing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for getting involved. and look after yourself, and have a great day. Um, that's look, that's cheered me up today. Someone getting involved in my channel, and actually noticing what I'm trying to do and what the channel is trying to do. Yeah, so I'm I was I'm a bit happier than I was at the start of the stream. So thank you very much for your kind words and getting involved in the live stream. Um, and the last subject I wanted to talk about today is the fact that um, no one cares about men's mental health, really. Um, Men just kill themselves. And if you look at the facts and the figures, which are all out there, and this is factual, women attempt suicide more, but men succeed more. So there's less men attempting it, but there's more men succeeding. No one cares about men's mental health. They just kill themselves, and no one cares. We become a figure. We become a fact. We become a statistic, because we are not, as a society, we're not open to men feeling that way and men talking about their feelings. When men shouldn't show their vulnerabilities, men shouldn't show how emotional they are. Men should not show a weakness because they're supposed to be the great protector and stuff. All this rubbish. Now, that doesn't wash with me. Men's mental health is as important as anyone's. Mental health itself doesn't discriminate, so why should we? Men, you can talk about mental health. It is not a sign of weakness. It's not a character defect. I suffer with mental health. I used to be ashamed of it. I used to be so ashamed of it that I would hide it behind a smile. I was fake for so long because that's the way I had to be in order for me to carry on. But just to get through the day, I would go to work, and on my break time, I would go into the men's bathroom and I would cut myself with my box cutter just to get through the day because I didn't want to admit that I was struggling in here. And I found out the hard way, there's no way to live. Forget what other people think. Forget the criticism. Forget the discrimination. Forget the shaming. You are valid. Your feelings are valid, no matter what your gender. It doesn't matter. Mental health doesn't discriminate, so we shouldn't. Please speak up. Please don't suffer in silence. You are not alone, and it is okay to be a man, and it is okay to suffer with mental health. It is okay to admit that you're struggling. I'm struggling. I'm not ashamed of my illness anymore. I'm not my diagnosis. My diagnosis is I have PTSD, clinical depression, and anxiety disorder. That's what I have. That's not who I am. That's not who you are. Whatever disorders that you have, whatever you're struggling with, you're not your disorder. You're not your illness. You're who you are. Your feelings are valid. Don't let the fear of the criticism and the shaming stop you from speaking out and getting the help that you deserve and need. And it doesn't make you any less of a man. In fact, it makes you more of a man to talk about mental health and admit that you're struggling. It makes you more of a man to know that you're in touch with your feelings. And it makes you more of a man to say, I cannot do this alone. That shows huge balls. Huge balls. And I had to find huge balls, and I had to come out and say I needed help. And I had to admit that I was mentally ill. I had to admit that I was struggling. I had to explain why all these cuts are up my arms. I had to explain why I wanted to end my life twice last year, and I tried twice last year, February and May. I might try this year because 90% of the time I want to kill myself. I don't like my life. I don't like who I am. I hate myself. I hate how I look. I used to look better. I used to be fitter. I used to be stronger. But there's, like I said, there's 10% of me. 90% of the time, that is me. 10% of me, there's my channel, my podcast on Spotify. There's my family, my son, and then there's a very close friend who has really, really been there since my mental breakdown. So this 10% of me and what I have is holding on for dear life not to give in to this 90%. If I can do it, you can do it. And together we're stronger. You are a man, and you are entitled to feel like you are struggling, and you are entitled to say, I need help. And if other people don't like that, and they just want to criticize you and mock you for saying you need help, then they're the weak ones. They're hiding behind the keyboard and not admitting the truth that they're struggling with something in their life that they need to deal with. So they need to spit hate out. You are more of a man if you ask for help. You are important to the world. You are important to the universe. Don't suffer in silence. Do not be another statistic. I care about men's mental health. This channel cares about men's mental health. I care about you. I care about me. And I care about the entire mental health community and improving the standard of care and improving the levels of human response to people with mental illness. It takes more of a man to admit that in here and in here you need help, because that shows strength, that shows courage, and that shows that you are one of the people, one of the strongest people in the world, because the strongest people you will ever meet are fighting battles you'll never know about. And then when they finally say, I need help, the truth sets them free. And then they become unstoppable. Then they become the person that they're meant to be. If you've made it through addiction, if you've made it through mental illness, and you're still here today, because there's plenty of people that ain't. If you've made it through addiction, if you've made it through mental illness, and you're still kicking today, you have something. You have something. Because there's lots of people that give up. There's lots of people that committed suicide. There's lots of people that are under the care of the Mental Health Act. If you've made it through those things and you're still kicking today, you have something. You are something, and you will be something special. Believe in that, but trust the process and believe in yourself and ask for the help that you need. I need help. I got help. And I ain't ashamed anymore to admit that I fucking needed help. Don't suffer in silence. We need you. The world needs you. And the universe needs you. And God has a plan for everyone. And it ain't your time. Not to mental health. Not to suicide. Not to loneliness. Not because you think that you're on your own. You're not on your own. The Mental Health Diaries is here for everyone that thinks that there is a discrimination and stigma against mental health people. I will stand up for you and myself, and I will support you and myself. I will work with my counsellors. I will work with my GP. I will work with the people who are going to give me the shock treatment when it's my time on the list. And I will work with Time to Change Wales and Mind, the mental health charity in Wales, to improve the levels of care in people that suffer with mental illness. And we are together stronger, and together we can make a change. We can make a change. Got a bit of a sore throat now after fucking ranting. Sorry about the rant today, guys. Sorry about swearing. But it's a very passionate subject for me. Like I said, 90% of the time, I feel like ending my life, and this is the 10% of me that doesn't want to give up. This is the 10% of me that is resilient, and has created the Mental Health Diaries, and has created a podcast live on Spotify now, the Mental Health Diaries. Like, share, subscribe, join the movement, join the journey. Look after yourself, look after your family and friends, and hit that subscribe button. Join the movement now. Don't be part of the problem. Be part of the solution. And the solution is the Mental Health Diaries. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.